Okay, so I'm back after several days of not streaming anything. And so the update is that chat applications are very hard to build, especially for one person with all the features of the chat apps that we expect today. File sharing, video chat, screen sharing if you're on a chat on the computer, encryption, presence, the message as I'm typing to see the notifications that so and so is typing, being able to block users, profile pictures, um, and all the fun stuff that goes with chat apps are kind of challenging to build. And I would not recommend anyone get into this if they're trying to build something that is usable. If you're doing it as a hobby project, then yeah, definitely go for it and try to build it. So rather than having to, while I was building this application, I realized that it's probably better to use an open source project and build on top of it. That way, we don't have to reinvent the wheel and make any obvious mistakes while building the application. So, if it was a tutorial type, video series, I would definitely build it from scratch. But I do, at the end of the day, want something that I can use as a chat application. So, we're gonna end up using. I'm gonna share my screen. Yeah. So we will be using Matrix. Matrix is a decentralized chat application. It works in the sense that it allows anyone to create a home server. Home server is like a node that belongs to the greater Matrix network, and I can run a node. If you want to, you can run a node as well, and users can basically utilize the nodes in order to facilitate the communication and messaging. The data itself related to the chat is stored on the user's device. So, at least from my understanding, and I also believe that the data itself is encrypted using some of the encryption keys. I guess they're using Ohm and Megom. I'm not exactly sure how they work right now, but I'll definitely do a little research and come back to share it. Um, so we're going to end up using Matrix. If you look at their, let's open it in a new tab. So home servers exist in many flavors. So there is a Python implementation for the home server, there's a Go implementation for the home server, and there's also, I believe, Rust implementation for the home server. So while I was quiet in the last little while, I ended up using all of these: the Python version, Dendrite, the Go version, and Conduit, the Rust version. And I come to the conclusion that for our purpose, we will be using the Python version. The reason is that it's the most mature, it has the most features. It would be amazing. I would have loved to use a Go version because it comes in two formats, right? It comes in the monolith and the polylith formats, but they don't have all the features. That's why I'm not going to be using the Go version or the Rust version, but I'll definitely keep a close eye on it. Maybe at some point we can also think about switching over from the Python version to the second generation home server built with Go. What happens? So at this point, if we end up using Matrix, what happens to our code that we already built? The API itself is not going to go away. We're going to use that to facilitate some additional communication between this home server and the chat application as well, the mobile application. The API's functionality will be greatly reduced. It's just going to be like a series of helper endpoints that just kind of glue things together a little bit better. And we also have our chat application, which we will end up building functionality into the near protocol as well. So the stuff that we wrote for the smart contracts is not going away. We will be using that. That's just basically the quick update on where this project is heading. So in the next one, we'll get started with the coding aspect of actually, setting up the Synapse server, setting up our API so it can actually start talking to it. This is really, apart from some basic research, this really is my first time getting into it. So we'll get stuck. We'll do some research. We'll figure it out, and we'll try to make progress the best we can. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you. See you in the next one.